Okay, let's dive into this fascinating world where music meets medicine and where ancient chants are being put under the microscope of modern science. Today, we're going to explore the claims, the controversy, and the science behind sound healing.
I mean, it's a huge, almost unbelievable claim, right? But the idea that sound can affect our health, well, that's not new at all. It's an ancient practice, actually, going back thousands of years to folks like Pythagoras, and now it's being put to the test in neuroscience labs. So let's start with a key number, 60. You see, research shows that music with a tempo of around 60 beats per minute can actually cause our brains to sync up with the beat. This produces what are called alpha brainwaves. You know, the same ones that show up when we're relaxed but still conscious. Think of it like a state of light meditation.
And this brings us right to the core idea of sound healing, that it's not just any sound, but that specific frequencies have these very specific, very powerful effects on our bodies and minds. So let's decode some of these claims.
The story, believe it or not, really starts with this ancient scale. It was used by Benedictine monks in their Gregorian chants, but these tones were pretty much forgotten for centuries. Then, in the 1970s, they were rediscovered by a physician named Dr. Joseph Puleo, who was convinced they held some profound healing potential. Now, within that ancient scale, one frequency has gained almost legendary status, 528 hertz. It's been called the love frequency and the miracle tone. Proponents claim it can do everything from fostering transformation to, and get this, even repairing our very DNA. And these claims are remarkably specific. Some small-scale studies suggest that listening to 528 hertz can lower cortisol, which is our main stress hormone. At the same time, it might boost oxytocin, the hormone linked to bonding and relaxation. There's even some research suggesting it can increase the lifespan of cells in a lab and calm our body's whole fight or flight response. Okay, let's switch gears for a second to another really popular technique, binaural beats. This isn't about one single frequency, it's actually a clever trick your brain plays on itself. So you put on your headphones, right? And a slightly different tone is played in each ear. Let's say 200 hertz in your left and 210 in your right. Your brain can't quite process them separately, so it creates a third, phantom beat, right in the middle of your head, at the difference between them. In this case, that would be 10 hertz. So the theory here is that this phantom beat can gently guide or entrain your brain into different states. So a slow delta pattern beat, for example, might help you get into a deep sleep, while a faster beta pattern could help you concentrate. It's basically using sound to nudge your brain into a desired mental state. But, for every incredible claim, there's a healthy dose of scientific skepticism. So let's wade into the great debate. What does the hard data actually say about all this? On one hand, you have these really powerful, really compelling claims. I mean, the idea that a simple sound could interact with our biology on a molecular level, that's absolutely profound. And it's a belief that really drives a lot of the sound healing movement. And then, on the other hand, you have the medical and scientific community saying, hey, let's slow down a little. Like this quote points out, a lot of the studies are small, or they rely on people just reporting how they feel, or they just lack really strict controls. That makes it tough to draw any firm clinical conclusions. And this chart illustrates the nuance perfectly. While something like DNA repair is really heavily debated, the effect of music on stress hormones is much better documented. Some studies have found that listening to calming music after a stressful event can seriously speed up your body's recovery, helping to lower cortisol levels way more effectively than just sitting in silence. So here's the crucial point. There are absolutely measurable positive effects. Listening to certain kinds of music can lower your heart rate, it can reduce anxiety, but science is still trying to figure out the exact mechanisms, the long-term benefits, and that big question, is the specific frequency the magic key, or is it just the act of listening to calming music in general? So, keeping that whole scientific debate in mind, let's say you wanted to explore this for yourself. What would that actually look and, sound like? Well, practitioners use a whole range of instruments. Some, like tuning forks and these incredible handpans, are designed to hit an exact frequency. Others, like singing bowls and gongs, create what's called a sound bath, this rich, complex wave of sound with all these overtones that just envelops you. Now, to get the most out of it, experts say you need to create a really intentional listening experience. This isn't about just putting a playlist on while you work. It's about setting aside a dedicated space, using good headphones to get the full spectrum of sound, and really actively focusing on the experience itself.
And what's really interesting is that even within communities that practice mindfulness, there's a pretty lively debate. For some people, music is a powerful tool to help them focus and quiet their mind. But for others, especially in some Buddhist traditions, any sensory input, including music, is seen as a potential distraction from pure awareness. It just goes to show how personal this whole experience really is. So, after exploring all the claims, the science, and the practice, what should we take away from all this? What's the bottom line? First, this is not just some fleeting trend. As you can see from this timeline, the belief in music's healing power is an ancient idea. What's new is that we're now re-examining these old beliefs with modern tools like brain scans and hormone tests, trying to connect the dots between what we experience and what's happening in our biology. And this leaves us with the final, and I think most provocative question. Are we biologically responding to a specific, unique vibration that somehow resonates with our DNA? Or is the true power unlocked when we simply give ourselves permission to stop, to listen deeply, and to focus our intention on healing? Is it the frequency itself, or is it the powerful psychological effect, the placebo, of believing that something can help us relax? The answer? It's probably somewhere in the middle, but it's a fascinating question to think about the next time you press play.